I'm Tom Nelson, an American Archer. Hi, and welcome to the American Archer TV show. I'm Tom Nelson. On this week's program, we're heading down to Illinois to hunt with Midwest Trophy Outfitters. My good friend and American Archer Pro staffer, Ross Aldrich, is in search of one of those big Illinois whitetails. Also, we're going to head down to Texas, where a good friend of mine, Patrick Rainey, has invited us down to do a little bit of midwinter hog hunting in the great state of Texas. All this week, right here on the American Archer.
We begin this week in West Central Illinois, where longtime team member Ross Aldrich is hunting with Midwest Trophy Outfitters. Tom Nelson hunted with MWTO a few years ago, and he recommended this hot spot to Ross for a chance to hunt great deer with some great people in Fulton County.
This is our 12th year in operation with Midwest Trophy Outfitters. And we got this thing started because we have a passion for killing big whitetails. We love to hunt ourselves, but we love putting guys on big whitetails.
When it gets into here, all these gullies kind of push the terrain right around the bend.
3 years ago, we got really serious with trail cams, and we have them on all our properties, and we have captured thousands of photos. I mean, just one camera that I put out alone in June, I captured 4,000 photos, and I'll bet you we have 20 different bucks on one camera. The guides are on top. We still have cameras. We still have the trail cameras out. And I think we just checked them 2 days ago, and we're getting an inventory of what's going on and this is how we're putting people on deer. They are intimate. They're glassing every night. They're watching what's going on.
He's got a non-typical point on his left beam, doesn't he?
22 years ago, I started off hunting in Pike County. And I got to tell you, 22 years ago, it was the place to hunt. But I'll tell you, Fulton County right now is killing more Boone and Crockett deer than any other place in the state of Illinois. I view Fulton County as the Pike County 22 years ago. I'm not saying you can't kill a big buck down in Pike County, but we got them here in Fulton County. And this year we captured some great deer on trail cam photos. We got some giants, and we're happy to put guys on them.
George Hummel is one bow hunter who was happy to be on a big mature buck in 2011. One of the main guys at MWTO, George tries to make sure he is in the stand each year on his birthday, November 3rd, unless he isn't too busy guiding hunters to their buck of a lifetime.
I guess everything was working in our favor tonight. It's November 3rd. We just came out of a warm spell, and it's getting that time of year where you never know what the bucks are going to do. And came out tonight, rain had just stopped, figured they had to start moving. And I was drawing on this buck 3 times before I actually got to draw back and kill him. And my arrow flew true, and tell you what, I just can't say enough about Fulton County and Midwest Trophy Outfitters, and we got some big bucks.
Happy birthday, George. You sure deserve it, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. This is just one of the numerous quality whitetails taken each year at Midwest Trophy Outfitters. Almost 1 year to the day later, Ross Aldrich is perched high in a stand, ready for a chance at a big buck of his own.
This is our first morning here. It's a beautiful morning, hardly any wind. We're just getting settled in. It's about 9 o'clock. Our first stand set didn't work out for me, so we had Ken move us to a different spot that I was able to climb into I just realized this morning how old I'm getting and I can't climb up to a stand as easy as I used to be able to, but I guess that happens to the best of us.
The day on the stand was mild and pleasant, but the deer action was slow. It wasn't until late in the afternoon that Ross heard something coming from up the ridge. This young buck was the only one Ross saw all day, but he wasn't about to give up hope. When we return, we'll see what tomorrow brings Ross, right here on The American Archer.
Please join us on Facebook and on Twitter to follow The American Archer even further.
Welcome back to The American Archer. Ross Aldrich is in West Central Illinois hunting with Midwest Trophy Outfitters. Even though the first day of his hunt was slow, Ross is still confident because he knows the kind of bucks that roam the area.
Here at Midwest Trophy Outfitters, we only operate 3 weeks of the rut, okay, what we consider the best part. So we offer 3 5.5-day hunts, and you get 6 evenings in a stand. Our first clients came in October 26th, and we had 11 clients in camp last week, and they shot 5 bucks, you know? So that's where we're up 45% actual kill. We probably should have been higher. Unfortunately, one of our clients ran over his bow the very first night, had a borrow bow, had a monster buck the last evening in his stand, and he couldn't draw the bow back. It was a borrowed bow. 2 of those deer were 160 plus. One was a 14-pointer, gorgeous, and the other one was a giant 10-point buck. And the unique thing is that they always talk about the one that got away, but the guy who shot that 160-inch deer will tell you that that was the smaller of the 2 bucks. But he didn't have a 160, and that was the one that was in his lap, and of course the one that was a giant was a little further away, so he took his 160.
Early in the second morning, Ross was on the stand dreaming of a 160 class buck of his own when he heard something coming up from the creek bottom. Ross had already decided before the trip that he wasn't necessarily going to hold out for a giant and would be happy with any buck in the 125 range. Sticking out quite a bit. It's quite an angle too, so it could have gone down in lung or liver or something, but I think it was a little too far back for my comfort level.
I just had that buck come in this morning. He was right down there. The wind is coming directly from my scent sticks. I got the VS1 in the scent dispenser, and I got the Evercalm in this one. I got another Evercalm on the other side, and I think he got a whiff of this, and that made him start coming up closer to this. We thought he was going to come right up here and, you know, tie into this baby, but I love these scent dispensers. Now you just screw them back in, and you put them in your backpack. You don't have to worry about any leaking out. And this is the scent stick in here, which is a great idea. It's a solid stick inside there. That wicking air just flows right through there, and nice scent cover up. Conquest Scents came up with a great idea.
After reviewing the footage, the crew decided to back out and give it a few hours before taking up the blood trail. Stay tuned for the conclusion to Ross Aldridge's Illinois whitetail hunt, right here on The American Archer. Welcome back to The American Archer. Before the break, Ross Aldridge got an arrow into a nice Illinois buck. Ross was concerned he didn't make an ideal shot.
It's high, but yeah, it's a little far back too. Not exactly where I was wanting to hit, but it's quite an angle too, so it could have gone down in along their liver or something, but I think it was a little too far back for my comfort level.
After giving it a few hours, the guys from Midwest Trophy Outfitters set out to find Ross's buck. Even if it was a less than perfect shot, the guys were bound and determined to find this deer.
That's still a good 9-10 inches that probably went in. It is a dark blood though. There's a spot there. It looks, yeah.
Ross knew he had the help of some of the best hunters in the business, but he couldn't stop second-guessing himself.
Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you could knock me over with a feather with that one.
Yeah, this morning, 7:45 is when I shot this deer. Had it doing 2 fawns first thing in the morning. This buck was kind of behind him, kind of snooping things out.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. I think the date is actually, I want to say it was October 26th. I think I checked the trail camera, and we had this guy on the trail camera, just directly across the ridge from you. And so we knew he was on the farm, and got a nice picture of him, a couple nice pictures of him. And I guess just came down off that ridge, does part of this patch hopping like they do, crossing the skinny points, and came through your neighborhood today.
I should have listened a little closer because I didn't range find how far it was down in that valley where the deer was, but there was really nothing there to range anyways, but I took the shot, and a little high, but I guess it worked out. But
yeah, you still clipped the lung, so it
yeah,
worked out.
Yeah, there were bubbles. The Rage Broadhead, nice hole. I mean, that's quite a hole there, so everything worked out. I appreciate it. Midwest Trophy Outfitters.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, day 2.
Hey, Ross, thanks for getting it done.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oftentimes when we hear about how difficult it is to judge certain game animals, black bears, for example, because they're just a big black blob sometimes, it's easy to mistake a small bear for a big bear or vice versa. And the same can be true when judging whitetails. As an example, we hunt whitetails, we follow the seasons, we bounce all over. We might be up one week hunting Saskatchewan whitetails, big 250, 300-pound live weight deer, where their body size is so big that sometimes their racks may appear small, when in fact they're big racks, but the deer are so doggone big, they make a 150-inch rack look like a 120-inch rack. In the Midwest, where I'm attuned to the deer and acclimated to hunting those deer, I know what it takes, how big the deer are and what a good rack looks like versus a smaller rack. But I jump down here to Texas, where I'm at right now, and a 125-pound deer, live weight, you put a 125-inch rack on him, it looks like a 150-inch deer. So you really got to be in tune and aware where you're at, how big the deer are versus how big the racks are, because it's very easy to misjudge a deer. Again, whether you're judging a giant-sized body weight deer with a small rack versus a small deer down in the southern states with a so-so rack, and it makes it look huge. So pay attention to where you're at. Think about the body size. My best words of advice, if in doubt, don't shoot. Wait, be patient, because sooner or later that big boy will show up. Welcome back to the American Archer. And a big congratulations goes out to Ross Aldrich on a nice whitetail buck he took while hunting with Midwest Trophy Outfitters there in Illinois. Now, let's head on down to Texas, where I'm getting ready to go on a pig hunt with my buddy Patrick Rainey.
It's our first afternoon here down in Texas with my buddy Patrick Rainey. Patrick's taking us to one of the spots he hunts. We're just walking around, walking up and down these two tracks. Spotted a water hole here, just big old mud puddle, looked like some pigs had been in it. We started walking up to it, thinking it might be a good place to put this cuddy back. And there's 3, 4, or 5 pigs that must have been coming into the water. Pigs everywhere. Breaking daylight. Lots of birds. I can hear quite a bit of traffic on the highway about a quarter or half mile away. It's hard to believe that pigs live in this close of proximity to people, you know, in highways and stuff. Boy, they're adaptable. But we're sitting in one of the makeshift blinds. You're on Naughton property. Just hoping some pigs come in this morning. So far, pretty quiet. Should have the wind with you here. Hopefully, that pig should be laying right out here. So let's just come around and he's up there in that tree. Just start slipping out real easy. I think you should be able to get on him. He's laid out flat, like I said, on the side. Okay.
Patrick.
Tom Nelson, that was an awesome stalk.
You know,
the best I've seen.
Little Lady Luck there smiled on us.
Amen, bro.
Perfect eater size.
Yes, sir. I see barbecue coming. I think our buddy Evan said something about Texas barbecue. We might have to fix him up a little something here.
Yep.
Whole,
yep.
Maybe on the half.
Well, yep, and you know what? That also, seeing how he wants it so bad, I think that's just perfect time to let him handle that outdoor edge swing blade, and we'll let him take care of this.
Yeah. I wonder if he's as quiet with that outdoor edge as you were with that invasion.
I think he is. He's pretty stealthy. I was so impressed. Like I said, I got to go back again. Evan, you know, I just got in the zone. Pig, go, stalk. I got in my hands and knees. Here I went and things, and I got about, you know, halfway into it, and I'm like, where's Evan? You know, I better make sure I got my cameraman with me, you know. And look back, and he was like 2 yards behind me, and I never heard him. So, you know, it really helps, Evan, thank you, to have a good stealthy cameraman.